Every Zimbabwean is entitled to be prosperous, is entitled to be happy, is entitled to have a prosperous life. Coming to the role of the NCA in the formation of the MDC, as well as my role in that, it's a matter of public record that we founded the NCA. Indeed, the first three people who met to conceptualize the NCA were myself, Priscilla Mserambu Mshonga, and Brian Kagoro, who conceptualized this together with Dawanda Mdasa. And our vision for an NCA was an NCA which will be at the cutting edge of the struggle for the making of a new constitution for Zimbabwe. And once the NCA had been formed, of course, one thing led to another. The civil society organizations came together to now form the movement for democratic change. And it was not a deliberate, initially conscious decision to form a political party. But what simply happened is that under the leadership of the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Union, the other key civil society organization, the strongest of which was in fact the NCA, were invited to come together and to attend a working people's convention, the first working people's convention. When we attended that, we looked at the state of our country. What was wrong with our country in terms of the economy, in terms of politics, in terms of culture? We drew up what you could call the Manifesto for Change. We called it at that time the Program for Change. And this program had the measures we believed as civil society ought to have been taken on the constitution, on governance, on human rights, on the economy, on employment, and so forth and so on. At the end of that Working People's Convention, we looked at the document we had crafted. And the initial idea was to take it to government and say, these are the things you must do. And we then asked ourselves, and indeed the person who stood up to raise that question directly and forthrightly was Justice Ben Shachwayo, who was then in the civil society movement. And he asked the rhetorical question, do we really seriously think this program for change can be implemented by ZANU-PF? We then debated, and there was unanimity at the end of the day that it is not possible for ZANU-PF government to implement that program.